They say the woods around Black Hollow aren't safe after dark. The locals, those who've lived in that quiet, crumbling town for generations, will warn you, don't follow the whistle. At first, it doesn't sound scary. It's just a whistle. Soft, distant, almost like someone trying to play a lullaby with a cracked wooden flute. It echoes through the trees, sometimes low and slow, sometimes high and sharp, but always moving, always just out of reach. The legend begins in the 1800s, when the town was smaller and surrounded by untouched forest. A man named Elias Crow lived deep in those woods, far from the town, in a crooked little cabin made of rotting timber and animal hides. People said he wasn't right in the head. He barely spoke, rarely came to town, and when he did, his eyes were sunken, always watching, and his lips were always pursed, whistling that same eerie tune. Elias was a trapper by trade. He lived off the land, catching rabbits, deer, and sometimes animals no one could name. But one winter, the animals seemed to vanish. The snow came early and heavy, and Elias's traps were always empty. That's when things started to get strange. Travelers going through the woods started disappearing. At first, it was blamed on the cold or wild animals. But then, a trapper came back from the woods, white as a sheet, trembling, barely able to speak. He claimed to have found a clearing littered with bones, human bones, arranged in a spiral, and in the middle, a single handmade flute. He ran before he could find out who or what had placed them there. Whispers spread through town. People began to suspect Elias. He was the only one who knew those woods well enough to hide in them. And no one had seen him for weeks. A group of townsfolk decided to find out for themselves. When they reached Elias's cabin, they found it empty, but not abandoned. A fire still burned in the hearth, and a pot of stew bubbled above it. What they found inside that pot confirmed their worst fears. It wasn't rabbit, it wasn't deer, it was human. Enraged, the townsfolk set fire to the cabin with Elias still inside. They say he didn't scream, he didn't beg. He just stood in the doorway, whistling that same strange tune until the flames swallowed him whole. But Elias's death wasn't the end. Not long after, people began hearing the whistle again in the woods. It would come at night, sometimes right outside their windows. Some claimed to hear it from the tree line. Others, while out hunting, said it circled them, just far enough that they could never quite see who was making it. Over the years, hikers and campers have disappeared. Search parties sometimes find signs, bones, arranged in spirals or shapes no one understands, and always that same handmade flute in the center. It's always warm to the touch, as if someone had just been playing it. Some believe Elias's spirit never left, that he became part of the forest, cursed to roam it, still hunting for food. But not animals, people. They call him the Whistler. And there's one part of the legend everyone agrees on. The sound of the whistle is never random. If you hear it, it means he's already chosen you. Locals say if the whistle is far away, you're safe, for now. But if it sounds close, like it's just behind your ear, don't look back, don't answer, don't run. Running only makes the hunt more fun for him. Just walk, quietly, carefully, and pray that the Whistler finds someone else before the sun goes down. Because once it does, you won't be heard from again, and all that'll be left is the whistle.